In August, the Labor government proposed changes to the pharmaceutical benefit scheme that could save taxpayers billions of dollars. This is great news, but pharmacists across Australia are crying foul. They could lose anywhere from $30,000 each year. For the 410 towns in Australia which only have one pharmacy, this loss in revenue could be drastic. Francesca Molina reports.
Welcome to Morisset on the New South Wales Central Coast, population 2,500. Like many small towns, Morisset has only one pharmacy.
Did you walk this morning?
I did.
Good on you.
I didn't see you though.
Pharmacist Andrew Stone has been serving his community for the last 5 years.
Thank you.
Local residents like Fred come here not just for the prescription medicines, but for the extra care he receives. Like Fred, new mum Kate is seriously concerned about the looming changes.
I would dread to think what would happen if the services for the elderly in the community weren't available, let alone, for the services that I come here to use. I know my mum can come in here and get things like her blood pressure tested, and she knows the pharmacy where if she's run out of a script and hasn't realised, she can always ring and talk to them, and it's those services to the community that make a huge difference.
I guess for a start, Morisset is a one pharmacy town, so we are a primary service provider in this area. The community looks to us to provide not only their medication supply, but a whole range of other services. Bottom line is, the reduction in our funding will ultimately mean that we may not be able to offer the sort of services, so the free services that we offer. These can include, free home delivery, our blood pressure testing service, our blood glucose monitoring, and just our general availability to the community for health advice. We're very accessible, and so obviously any changes to that could ultimately mean that we can't offer that, or that potentially staff losses could happen as well.
Despite the outrage of the pharmacists, Australian families already pay some of the highest prices for medicines across the world. Up to 10 times what a family living in the United Kingdom would pay for the same prescription medicines. Consumer advocacy groups say by cutting the prices it pays for generic drugs, the Australian government can save a huge $1.8 billion over the next 4 years. That's a saving of $150 per Australian, a huge reduction for people already struggling with the rising cost of living.
We have a lot of sympathy for those communities that see one pharmacy that they're able to rely on and its survival is critical. But that is an issue equally important to the capacity for all consumers in Australia to buy the medicines that they need. What ACOS has been seeing for several years now is that consumers are constantly having to choose between affording the medicines that they need and affording other essentials like food or transport for their families. So what it comes down to is the purpose of government subsidies and the way that businesses like pharmacies can best work to support their community's needs as well as to sustain their own future.
We totally understand, I guess, the government point of view, and the Guild Government Agreement comes out every 5 years, so the next one is due in 2015, so I guess pharmacy works with a business plan and a business model based on what we're told each 5 years. Ultimately that means the customer service, is going to be compromised.
With the newly elected government staying silent on whether the price reforms will go ahead, unfortunately, pharmacists and their customers are still in the dark about what this decision could mean for them.